Hey friends, it is Monday, September 25th. You are not here, but you're in the right place. Um, I'm here to just let you know what you missed today, what our learning targets are, what our success criteria was today, and where your homework is. So let's go. Number one, um, in Math 7 today, Monday, September 25th, our learning targets are we can develop strategies for representing portions in different ways, and we can use those strategies to compare portions and probabilities. Okay? And then, kind of like where we left off from Friday, can you shade squares in appropriately sized rectangular arrays? And can you use the giant one? So when we came into class today, the first thing we did is we looked at your formative assessment review, the first one. And that's the one where we had two tables and we had to figure out, okay, um, what are the missing numbers in this table and what are the corresponding missing numbers in that table. And then we went to see if we saw any pattern and figured that out. After that, we talked about Google Classroom and Infinite Campus. And we said, can you get into Google Classroom and figure out what your homework grades are? Can you get into Google Classroom and figure out what your participation grades are? And then can you go do the same with Infinite Campus? And remember, we have different grades that go in different places. Your homework and participation goes in Google Classroom. Your standards-based formative and summative assessments go into Infinite Campus. Finishing that, we went on to formative problem number 2, and this was a probability based on picking juices out of a container. From there, we went on to problem strips. And I believe that was 1 point. Well, let's look it up where it was, and then I'll add it on here. So we have to remember how to get into our ebook. So we go into CPM Math. And then from there in CPM Math, I always find the one that says More Math for More People. And then we have to log in. You might have to log in twice. If there's a Google G, click on that. If you do not have your Chromebook, you may have to remember your username and password. I'm already in the ebook, so I'll get into course 2. And we are on chapter 1.2 point, is it 5 today? Yes, it's 5. Okay, good. So I'm going to mark this down. It's 1.2.5. And what we did with the kids is we passed out strips, and they were different colored strips. So I said, get in your groups, and in your groups, the hearts is going to assign who's reading each problem, and then the club on that problem is going to tell us who's going to be writing that problem. And then if you need any extra help, you go through the spades. Spades will raise their hands if the group has decided they need help. And the spade will be the person that asks the questions of the teacher. And then when it comes to explaining the problem, the clubs will explain the problem to the teacher. Okay? So here's the strips. First strip. Why is this fraction 4 called the great one? Each fraction below is shown next to a great one. Multiply the expressions to rewrite the fractions. You can do that. Go to strip 2. Oh, we have another one here. 5 times something in the great one equals 40 over something. What do you think is in the great one? And then complete the problem. 5 times 7 times the great one is something over 70. What goes in the great one? And complete the problem. Strip 2. Deanna is trying to compare 3/7 to 2/5. So she colored 3 out of 7, and then she turned that into 35. And then she's like, well, 3 out of 7 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 out of 35. Okay, so now she has to do the same for 2/5. So color 2 out of 5, and then change that into 35. Then, is 2/5 bigger or smaller than 3/7? And prove it. Why does rewriting the fraction make it easier to compare? Why did Deanna choose 35 for her new denominator? Could she have chosen a different denominator? If you finish that strip, go to this strip, family of fractions. Write 3 new fractions that makes the same as 7/12. 3 new fractions that's the same as 3/10. 3 new fractions the same as 9/27. If your group gets that one done, how about this? Adelaide has read 5/8 of a book, Carla 12/16, Lisa 13 24th. Which denominator could they use to compare the fractions? Which girl has the largest part left to read? How many pages could the book have? I'm going to ask you those. And then strip 4, 3/4 times the great 1 equals something over 100. What goes in the great 1? What goes in the numerator? 4 200ths times the great 1 equals something over 100. What goes in the great 1? What's the numerator? 7/16ths over something equals times the great 1 equals something over 100. What goes in the great 1? What goes in the numerator? How did you decide which number to use in the giant 1? Or the giant 1, I should say. And then 101. What's most likely to happen? Justify your answer by rewriting the portion in a different form. In each case, show your thinking with pictures or with labeled calculations. A 4/5 chance that the teacher will assign homework today. A 78% chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow. A 7 out of 10 probability of picking a green marble. What's most likely to happen? Sound good? That's your assignment. And then the homework, if you get your strips done, we go into your homework, and the homework is 104. Did I have 103 first? I should have 103 too. So it should be 103, 104, 105, 106, 107. There we go. Let's go. 103, 104, 105, 106, 107. 103. Lila rewrote 10/25 as 40th 100ths. Tony thinks it's 2/5. Is Tony correct? How could Tony write an equivalent fraction using tenths? Zaira wants you to solve this puzzle. I'm thinking of a number. If you divide my number by 2 and subtract 4, you get 2. What is my number? Rewrite each fraction below as an equivalent fraction and a percent. Rewrite each expression as a single fraction. What is the length of the marked portion of each line segment? To recap, what did we do today? We wanted different strategies for representing proportions in different ways, and we wanted to compare portions and probabilities. We wanted to find out, can you color squares in rectangle arrays to get to percents, and can you use the giant 1? Sound good? That's what's going on today on Monday, September 5th. I hope you're feeling better, and I hope I see you tomorrow, and have a beautiful day.